right, everyone. Welcome back to what is probably going to be my final video about All of Us Are Dead or Chigamuri Hakyunin. Because I'm not going to do any more reaction videos. I mean, I can't. I finished the series. I posted my last reaction video yesterday, I think, and finished the series today. It's a good show. It's really good. That's a spoiler for my review. But yeah, I'm still figuring out what my policy is going to be with reaction videos. It's a relatively new thing that I'm doing on my channel. Wish I'd started them earlier. I really love doing reaction videos. They're super fun. But this is the first time I've had a reaction series do as badly as this one did. And it hurts your channel when videos get that little views and stuff. But what I think my policy is going to be is like what I stated before. I will always give a show 3 episodes before I decide whether or not to continue or not. And that's going to be, whether I continue is going to be based on both my interest in the show and my audience's interest in the show. Because, if I'm not interested in it, I don't want to watch it. And if my audience isn't interested in it, then there's really no point in putting the videos out. Plus, as I just said, I stopped watching and I just finished the series today. It's much faster to watch a show when you don't have to stop and edit a video in between every episode. But yeah, so that's what my policy is going to be now. And then I will do, if I don't finish the show, I'll do like a review at the end, just for closure for those people who did watch. So with that all out of the way, let's go.
Let's be nerdy, babe. Let's be nerdy, let's be nerdy. Let's be nerdy, babe. Let's be nerdy, babe. Let's be nerdy, let's be nerdy, babe.
So, like I said, I obviously enjoyed the show. Like, I finished episode 3, posted the video, went to bed, woke up the next morning and saw, oh, that video's not doing well. I'm just going to marathon the rest of the show. And then I just did. I watched the rest of the show. That's all I did pretty much today was finish the show. And I do have some thoughts. It's very weird. The negative thoughts stick in your head more than the positives. So I'm going to try and make sure that I even it out, because I obviously really liked it. I finished the show in basically a day. And it's like each episode is an hour. So that's like 9 hours today watching a zombie high school drama. The negatives though really did stick out. I talked about one of the negatives a lot in the episode. I mean, if you watch the last reaction video, there's like one point where for like 30 seconds I'm just yelling at them to tie somebody up. Everybody knows about the fight or flight response. There's a third one, freeze, that doesn't get talked about as much. And I feel like the writers of this show were like, nobody talks about freeze. Let's make sure everybody knows about freeze. Because that seemed to be the only response anybody had in the show. And that's just not, no. Like, some people will freeze. Some people will fight. Some people will flee, I guess. Or was it flight? Some people will flight. You can't say that. Some people will run away. Some people actually will be really calm under pressure and will do the right thing or do something smart in that moment. Some people will be really calm and do something stupid. It's just almost everybody in the show had the exact same response, which is to stop, stare, watch the person turn into a zombie, and then not do anything until they attack. And sometimes not even, like, they would wait until after somebody had been bitten to do something. Like you've killed somebody? Well, now we'll stop you instead of stopping you before you kill someone. It drove me crazy. It honestly drove me crazy. The other thing that drove me crazy was how quickly the kids were leaving safe places. And this one I understand a bit more, because I know you have to speed that sort of stuff up for the drama of a television show. Like, in my mind, I kept thinking, the zombies are still in human bodies. They need food and water to live. Like, even if we're dealing, like, I shouldn't be thinking about things so logically, but they're in human bodies. They need, like, in 3 days, if they don't drink water, the zombie bodies will die. So you just stay in that room for 3 days and then you can leave. Like, you can make some tension by, you need to get out of this room and get into a room with water. Okay, there's tension. You got to do that. But the fact that they left the recording room, why? Then they broke the window, but they were pretty safe in the recording room, and then they go into the instrument room, and they're safe in the instrument room, But then they decided instead to lure a bunch of zombies into the instrument room, so now they have to leave there, and then they go into, like, they kept, they got to the roof, and okay, they don't have water, but then it rains, oh, they have water, and then they leave the roof. Like, they kept being in safe places and leaving safe places. And every time they did that, almost, I think, I don't know, it's all melding in my head, because I, like, literally just today watched it. Every time they did that, somebody died. And it was really frustrating. If you just stay there, just stay. Ah, that drove me a bit crazy. Some of their dumb decisions made sense because they were teenagers, like running back after people, running back after Namra at one point. I was like, okay. I mean, it's romantic and whatever. It's a dumb decision, but they're teenagers, and I can understand this. It's tension there. That sort of thing. I got, but the other dumb decisions, they just drove me crazy, and I kept having to tell myself, no, Jenny, it's a TV show. They have to. You can't just have people sitting in a room waiting patiently for the zombies to slowly die. Like, you can't. That's just not. That's a very, very boring television show. So, okay. So I think I did all of the negatives out of the way because I wanted to end with positives. I said this, I think, in one of my reactions. One of the things I found so interesting about this is that they took this premise seriously. I did not expect that at all. It's a zombie high school. Like, it sounds ridiculous. It sounds fun. It sounds camp. And they took it seriously, like really seriously. There were multiple times that I found myself almost crying, like the scene with Isak when with Onjo, like holding on to her and not wanting to let her go. I almost cried. And even that scene with not Namra, Nayeon, when she's like, everybody's like, you're a murderer. That was like, it was horrible because it was true. It was just such a, oh my gosh, that she got to that point, and everything about that was awful and brutal. Chung-san seeing his mom, there were multiple moments where I found myself in, like, on the verge of tears. I didn't actually cry, but I got pretty close a couple times just because, I mean, it's such a ridiculous thing to say because, zombies, but this is tragic. Like, these are kids, and they're kids, right? Like, kids crying because they see, oh, that was another moment, like when the one girl, I forget, I think it was Jimin, sees her dad's truck, and her mom and dad's truck, and like realizes that and then they see their bodies. Like, that was brutal. And then Jimin, when she's in the field, and she just gives up and lets the zombies eat her, like those like the terror on her face as she tried to fight them all off and then couldn't, and then just gave, like, it broke me. They're taking, like, this would be horrible. It would be horrible, and it's like, it's such, because it's a zombie attack. It's utterly ridiculous. This is an utterly ridiculous premise, but they took it so seriously that, in a way that I can't imagine a Western show taking this, and I really liked that. This is a horrific thing. This is really, really horrific, and I really appreciated that. Another thing that I found interesting that I don't think would have happened in a Western show is there were these moments where characters, like the teacher at the beginning, okay, that was another moment where I kind of got a lump in my throat when she left the room and went after Nayeon. It's like, yeah, as a teacher, you have to do that, and I thought that was great. In a Western show, that would have had some consequence. It would have, like, she would have perhaps saved Nayeon, who then would have done something that would have helped the kids, like she would have sacrificed herself for something. But that didn't happen. Like, she sacrificed herself for Nayeon, who then is, like, in a room and decides that she's going to get food up to the rest of them on the roof. But before she can do that, she gets eaten. The teacher sacrificed herself, and it had zero consequence on the story. It was a pointless death, and it was a noble gesture that she made, but it was utterly pointless. It helped no one. It helped literally no one, not even Nayeon. It didn't help anyone. And that, I don't think that would have happened in a Western show. And I found that really, like, I'm wanting to say brave. It was gut-wrenching. Like, it was brave and gut-wrenching to think, like, yeah, she did this incredibly noble thing. She really, like, the teacher I'm talking about, tried to she prioritized the kids above herself, even like this horrible child who had murdered another one of her students, and her sacrifice was her nobility was nothing. It was absolutely nothing, and I don't know. I thought that was really poignant to me. And there were a couple of things like that. Like I said, everything's melding in my head where there's turns that the story takes. There's things that would happen. Like, yeah, that wouldn't happen. That would not happen in a Western show. You have to tie certain things together in a way for a Western drama to make sense, and yet it works. Like this is. I'm not saying it doesn't work. It fits in my brain. There's nothing in it that didn't match, but it just, because I'm not expecting it, because I have, a Western brain, my brain thinks that things are going to happen a certain way, and then when it doesn't, it hits me doubly hard because it's so incredibly unexpected. And I like that. Like I really, really like that. That's one of the things that if you can get past, what is it, that Bongjoro said about like the hurdle of subtitles, like the 1-inch hurdle of subtitles, you have this whole other world of narratives and archetypes and storytelling tropes to explore that can reveal things to you. And everybody should try. Everybody should watch other cinema outside of their own culture if they can. At the beginning, I said that I thought this was going to be, like, I think this is my last video on this show. The reason I said I think is because I do think that they wrote the finale thinking that there was going to be a second season. Like, they definitely left the door open for that, with Namra saying that there are others out there and, like, jumping off the roof. And so, okay, like, this revealing that, oh, she has other superpowers. And we've got like the conflict with the refugees, and I think the science teacher who made the virus is probably one of the people who is like Namura and what was it, Gyeongsu, and yeah, I do think that there's plans for that. I don't know if they're actually going to do it because I don't know how successful this was. I should probably look into that, but I do think that was the initial plan. Overall, though, I really enjoyed this. I spent a lot of time on the negatives, but I really, really liked it. As I said, I finished the series in a day, so highly recommended. Yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And you can always come join my Discord and talk about it more. And if you like my stuff, you can always check out my Patreon, which will also be linked in the description below. I will end this here, so please like, subscribe, and I will see you around. Bye!